Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Awashai Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen that look like the heathen. And to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And this is Love Travel Adventure. And the name of the video is called Trucker Bloodbath Coming. 33% bankrupt, leave 33% will coast through. All right. Let me see if I can get the name into frame, because somebody, even though I said it, somebody's going to put on the comment board, what's the name of the video? It never fails. All right. Jake is just too lazy, man. They don't want to, do any work. All right. But, I do this work. This is a labor of love and a labor of fear of Yahweh Bashem Awashai to feed the sheep. And I know that there are sincere listeners out there. So as you can see the name of the video at the bottom. And I used to listen to this guy. I think he was the Viking trucker, if I'm not mistaken, before he cut his hair and his hair was long. And he always had really good information. And he's definitely going to drop some good information here, because being a trucker and a property owner, he has a pretty good perspective as what's going on in the country as far as financing. And then, as far as, moving around from state to state, seeing how things are happening. So he's got a pretty good perspective. All right. But this is I'm going to read a scripture before I let his video play. I'm going to play about maybe about 8 minutes of his video. And then I'm going to bring out, a scripture. I'm going to try not to interject unless the Spirit, gives me a scripture or something like that. But I'm going to let him speak, because he says a lot of really good information that needs to be heard. And he doesn't understand the spiritual aspect of everything either, But we do. That's why we filter all this information through the scriptures. But this is Habakkuk 2:1, and it reads, "And I will stand on my watch and set me upon my tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what shall I answer when I am reproved? And Yahweh answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." All right. "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Yet also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto himself all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? To him that leadeth up with thick clay. Shall they not rise up? Salakia. Shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee and awake, and shall vex thee, and shall be for booties unto them? Verse 8, "Because he hath spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land and of the cities, and he that dwell therein." All right. I could keep going with that, but basically, Esau Edom is losing control of his chaos. He's set forth this order ab chaos, and he really can't control it. All right. It's all in the hands of Yahweh Bashem Awashai. Jamie Dimon, who I've met on not only met, but had actually dealings with him in the world, right around the time I came into this truth. And he's the president of J.P. Morgan, Chase J.P. Morgan. And he just came out and said a financial hurricane is about to hit the world and hit America. And it is. All right, so you really dark and dangerous days are very close at hand. All right, so without any further ado, let's let a little bit of this video play.
About 2 years later, young guy too, under 50. But we were sitting at lunch and he said that. I looked at him kind of sideways. I kind of cocked my head and I'm like, bro, I said, I've got property in Charlotte, which is the second largest banking capital in the U.S., next to New York. I've got property in the Hampton Roads area, in Norfolk, Portsmouth, Virginia Beach. I've got property in the mountains. I've got apartment buildings. I'm going to be fine. Yeah, well, you know what? When it turned off that Friday, when I went to refinance a property, and when it turned off, and I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't comprehend it because it had never happened to me before. When that happened, everything turned off. Because right now, I'm going to throw a percent out. 75% of the people looking to buy a home that could.
He's talking about 2008, by the way, when the crash came. All right. And around that time, I was doing pretty good. I had a lot of clients, a lot of really wealthy clients. Because, once you get one of those, really rich people, your name kind of get tossed around in the business that I was in. And next thing you know, you got a lot of them. And I had one of them. I had quite a few of them. And this 2008 thing, the real money left Chicago within those next 2-3 years after that. All right. The big bucks were gone by 2010. So when I tell you that the people, the wealthy in Chicago are very low level wealthy or faking it wealthy, it's true. The real money left here years ago. And the same thing in New York and California.
Could have bought one 2 months ago, can't afford one now. If they're looking at the same price range home they were looking at 2.5 months ago, they can't afford one because the rates have gone up 1.5 points. And Joe and average Sally America don't have that kind of money. Here's my point.
Joe and Sally America, I like that. I might have to borrow that. But you heard what the man said. He said 2 months ago, people who had the credit and the ability to buy can't buy today. Come on, man.
Everything, if you go look at the charts of 08, everything that happened in 08 is happening right now. Right now. You got some comments? You want to read some comments?
And you got to understand, America should have went under and all these things should have kicked off in World War III and all that. Well, the Lord had things set in His time. But what saved America was quantitative easing. And that gave you another, 12, 14 years, so to speak, of false security, and been living on a razor's edge ever since. But they three rounds of quantitative easing is what kept America from going under, and all it did was make the fall that much worse. All right, it made it that much worse.
He's been out here breathing in my ear.
No, I'm not breathing.
I don't mind it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I know. Well, that's the problem.
Read off a couple.
D Prince, this is just right in the middle. He says, hey, y'all. He says, yeah, you're right. He is an appraiser and a realtor. And he says, what you're saying is correct.
Turn off.
There it
is.
is.
Jeffrey Hitchcock. Hi, Tank Monkey. Good morning. West Cross. Morning from Georgia. Daniel, Miel. Hi, you two. Darren Abink. Joe Koss.
Darren, long time, man. Hope you're doing well.
Hi, guys. Lyle McCannis is going to get tough. He's looking at underground news at the moment. We're just trying to get the news where we can and figure it out, can't we? Trucker Mom says, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Happy.
Trucker Mom, let me tell you guys what the 33% rule is going to be. Right now, truckers, they just went out and bought a truck last year. They bought a truck in the last 6 months to a year. They paid 40, 50, 80 grand more than what the truck was worth.
Damn.
They're going to get punished first.
Ooh.
They're going to be the first ones to. And let me tell you something. I'm getting chills when I say this because I remember 08 and I made some bad moves in 08 because I'd never been through that kind of a crash. The thing turned off like that. I had all my tenants in Charlotte because I had an Argentinian property manager, great guy, but we would put Latino families in. Well, most of the Latino families we put in our places, most of them were all in the construction business. So what do you think is going to happen when mortgage rates go through the roof, houses start dropping, and then layoffs? Let's talk about layoffs. Netflix just laid off 10% of their employees.
Damn.
every place that has any kind of Silicon Valley employees are laying off people right now. Did you know this? I did not know this till a week and a half ago. 67% of the tech firms in San Francisco do not make money. So when this economy turns off, they're going to be like, they're already starting to lay off. There's people on some of the socials recruiting saying, hey, if you got laid off from tech, please reach out to us. We might be needing some help, but nowhere near the pay you were making in Frisco. All of this is happening. Did you guys hear? You guys watching all these fires that are happening at all these food processing plants? Did you see yesterday, I think it was, a Walmart distribution center up in Indianapolis burned to the ground? A Walmart distribution center on top of the other 16, 20 fires they've had across the nation in food production facilities. Stuff's going on.
Yeah.
Diesel fuel still going through the roof.
So it's guaranteed that famine is going to hit. All right. That's why I read Habakkuk. All these things were prophesied. And I learned these things coming into this truth. All right. The apostles and elders went live in 2007. And up until this time, and even they were even saying this before they went live on the YouTube and on the internet. You know, that over 30 plus years of street ministry and prophesying. And literally everything that they're saying is coming to pass now. You know that now, people will make the excuse of the 2000 thing, and a lot of people fell out or just stopped believing as a result of that. But through wisdom and understanding, we understand that was just simply a sifting process. The Lord does things in His time, and the calendar was off anyway. And with the Great Awakening, look how many people have awakened to the fact that they were Israelites since that time. It just wasn't time, because the simple answer to that is that the elect had not been awake. All the elect wasn't awakened yet. There was still a lot of. Look at how many men have come into this and become instrumental in Israel, assisting the apostles and the elder bishops, since that time, and then the following that they have. All right. And the spread of this word around the entire globe, around the earth, man. All right. So the prophecies that we've been reading about and the things we've been warning about, it's all here. From the new digital, stamp to the famine, to the wars, to the race wars, all of it's happening. And it shall not tarry. Although it seemed like it, because I can still, it's like yesterday. I remember, those early days of going to camp in 2000, 2008, 2009, 2010. I remember, when we were over righteous, doing 8-9 hour camps. Everything has shortened because the time is short.
If the rates are dropping, some of you are over leveraged. You can't even take care of the home bills right now. And I'm not saying this with any kind of haughty or arrogant attitude.
That goes for the American government. They can't take care of the home situation, but yet they keep spending their fiat currency that they just print in other places while leaving the citizens of America, hung out to dry.
Yeah, I'm not. I feel for you guys if you weren't in trucking in '08 and you didn't have to go from the owner lease op side back to the company owner driver side and just make it work. I feel for you guys that are out there to have a big old truck payment. You overfinanced $175,000 worth of that truck payment. Here's what I'd be doing right now. If I had a big old truck payment, if I had a truck that was paid off.
If we had a truck.
Wrong pronoun. If we had a truck that was paid off.
And see, when I first started watching him, he was solo. So somewhere in the gap, she's in the picture now, and I guess she's on the road with him inside his rig with the little living quarters behind the curtain there. All right, he enjoys being on the road, even though he owns properties. But this is how he makes his money,
Thank you. Give me a high five on that.
High five.
Good job, girl.
Hurricane poor.
Hurricane poor. If we had a truck that was paid off, like a lot of the people I'm speaking to on the phone did, and it was under 700, 800,000 miles, I would be selling that bad boy. I'd be cashing that thing out as quick as I could, still try to hope you get 20, 30, 40 grand over the market price. Take that money.
What? 20, 30 grand over market price for vehicles, including the truck. That is fucking ridiculous. And we're talking about used. And so listening to him, if you think that you can come back from that, all right, you're paying 30% over market price for a used vehicle. What the hell you think you're going to pay for a new one? Man, this place is done, man.
Get all my personal debt out of the way. Because one of the things for us, and she's seen this more than anybody, just being in the business a year, we have zero debt, man.
Yeah.
We have no cars, turned the cars in, made a lot of money selling those used cars last year. No, the rental properties we own are rentals. We don't pay rent anywhere. We use a mailbox at Brothers Grimm. That's it. Never set foot inside his house. We get our mail there. That's it. We don't have any debt. The truck, when I tell you guys to minimalize right now, the next 6 to 9 months, if I tell you and you don't believe me, I'm gonna ask you to reach out to me in December, January, and tell me how bad you got smacked in the head. Because if you don't downsize your debt right now,
a lot of people just simply can't do that. And by December, January, America is going to be in complete and utter chaos. I don't think that America is going to make it through this fall. I really don't. I don't think it's going to, just listen to what Jamie Dimon was saying and a couple of other people, a couple of different videos that I watched on TikTok that I would like to play, but I don't want to get a strike for, because YouTube is real sensitive and pussyfied when it comes to telling the truth. It looks like utter chaos by summer's end. Because the one guy said that it should very well be happening this very summer. But the people who are behind this want their summer vacations, so that the collapse may be held off just because of them. But it's all in the hands of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because because a lot of food is going to run out before the summer's over. So toward the end of July, going into August, man, and plus those rolling blackouts. So who knows the dramas that's going to come with that? You got 2 or 3 days of darkness. Every week, every other week, in Chicago, New York, L.A., Detroit, and some of these major, cities, man. That's, oh boy.
as fast as you can. Because we were talking about that this morning.
Yes.
If this thing shuts off in trucking, and that's what I'm going to do the stream about this week. I'll probably do it.
Remember in 2008, I think it was on 800, around 800, a little over 800. I believe he mentions that. Trucking company shut down. See, I remember back then, I thought it was over then. He was man, the Lord about to come get us. We had a name for each year. But it still has gone by so fast. It was like yesterday. The Lord really has sped up the time. And you have to understand that Wendell had, because like I said, there's a lot of really good brothers, a lot of prophets and young brothers, up and coming elders, a lot of my contemporaries that all came in, 2007, 2008, 2009, that are doing the work alongside our teachers and spreading the word and the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. This is the gospel that shall be spread, and then the Lord shall come. And that's what you're looking at. That's what you're seeing happen. And he doesn't understand the spiritual side of this at all.
Members only stream. I'll add a different members category, because I'm not going to give these duels away on the channel for free, because there's things you need to be doing right now in trucking if you want to stay in the business to make the most money for this next 2 years. You know how long it took to get out of the '08 crash, when everything happened in '08 to truckers, and those just under 800 companies went under and the 12,000 trucks came off the road? You know how long it took to recover? 2 years. 2.5 years. Do you guys have 2.5 years worth of reserves set aside? Can you run yourself? Can you run for, 25, $2,000, not even that, 1,500 a week, 1,300 a week? Can you do that for the next 2 years if you had to?
That's insane, because the well is getting ready to cut off again. So what he's saying, and if you don't understand what he's saying is that if you're a trucker, can you maintain your bills and your lifestyle for 2.5 years? Most people can't maintain their lifestyles for 2.5 months if the well gets cut off, meaning if they can't go to work, if they can't get there. Gerald Salente have said it, so many times over, man, that the average American, he and others, the majority of Americans have less than $1,000 in the bank. They don't have $1,000 cash at hand just to take care of miscellaneous, emergency. They don't. So how the hell are you're gonna expect people to have 2.5 to 3 months of anything? All right, especially these ones who believe in everything that the media said, believe in everything that people like Anthony Fauci said and things of that nature. People like that, they're not worried about preparing or prepping or anything. They think that everything's going to be all right. Fools.
Mortgage bankers today are looking for a job. Mortgage brokers are looking for a job. Their business went away. Only 5% of the mortgages in America can even get refinanced.
Damn.
Because the rates are that high. It's not worth refinancing. What are you stroking my leg for besides you just trying to go, hey, girl?
Well, if I was stroking your leg for Hager, I would have been a little bit higher, but we can't do that on TV.
Easy.
On the tubes of you.
What you got going
on? On the tubes of you. I think he fell for the accent. Yeah, those accents do kind of, come in handy. Just saying.
I got a few comments, but one thing that we did touch on this morning as well, kind of compared to just, it's WORK, work. And even when things go down, what are you prepared to do to surf through this to keep your head above the water? What are you prepared to do to get through this when it happens? Even if it gets really bad, what are you prepared to do? And a lot of people just freeze up and they just let it all rush over them and they end up losing everything and in a really, really bad place. But even you and I talked, regardless of how bad it gets, we're willing to work. We're willing to hustle. We're willing to keep our heads above the water.
To live out of the truck.
No matter what it takes, if we, and I don't think it's going to get that bad. I really believe that we're going to Forrest Gump the whole thing. But even if it got really that bad that we had to
Where'd
walk.
you get that term?
But even if we had, just grocery shopping, you didn't have a vehicle and you had to walk 2 miles out and 2 miles back, are you willing to do something like that? Are you willing to do what it takes to keep...
See, they're trying to look for a way to survive on the Titanic. All right, there's nothing that they can do to stop what's about to happen. America's going to completely and totally shut down. And this dystopian world is basically being built. You got these these distractions, these questionable events, shootings, fires, etc., that all lead to a dystopian society where freedoms are diminished. All right, we're gonna close with this. This is 2 Ezra 9:1-7, and it reads, "And he answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world," and that's been going on for the last few years, all right, "then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." Hey, Enoch was prophesying these days in the beginning, all right? "For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. For like as all that is made," Salakia, even so the times also, the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. So the signs and the effects of the end are taking place. All right. "And every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed." Okay. So only the elect are gonna make it up out of here in this upcoming destruction. Only the elect are gonna make it through this suffrage that we're all about to go through. All right, it is about to get really bad, hot. You're gonna be hot if the power goes off this summer, and we're gonna be cold if it goes off this winter. I don't think we're gonna make it to the, like he said, January, February, without major events. All right, because these blackouts are promised for this summer, which makes sense if the grids are being used because of the heat, and the grids are all on the verge of crumbling anyway, or they say that the T word, the terrorist attack from China or Russia on our grids, whatever. I believe it's all being orchestrated and it's all going to happen anyway. So the true prepping, and I mean, it makes sense. I was watching, the beloved elder Bishop Sakaran yesterday. Look, it's not saying that you don't have faith, if you just go buy, a few bottles of water and some extra food. Okay. The Lord gave you a mind to prepare. You go to work so you can pay bills. Why not put yourself in a position where you can feed yourself, for a short period of time, when times get bad. I mean, we also have examples of that in Egypt with Joseph. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Kadash, Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala Shalom.